What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn how to have a British accent fast. I ain't getting any younger. I gotta get my British accent and get on with my life. No, I like how this video is learn fast. Apparently, in 12 minutes or less, I'm gonna learn to fake a British accent. Have like I don't know. I don't know what my expectations for this are. But in all seriousness, in America, the British accent, it's a bit of a thing. Like when Americans encounter someone with a true, honest British accent, we have a reaction. We think it is cool. We find it to sound intelligent, regal, royal. All these things we associate with the British accent, and we always have. I don't know. It's like this foreign thing to us where it just sounds cool and sophisticated. Now I don't know how to explain it, but it also sounds nice. So, as far as British accents go in America, I feel like Americans are horrible at trying to do the British accent without any kind of training, when we're just screwing around. We always default to like the most barbaric, choppy, like, hello, I'm from Britain, Oh my god, I'm sorry you had to hear that. But somehow making it exaggerated is the only way Americans know how to do it. There's no nuance to it, because secretly we don't quite know what inflection to put where and what vowels and consonants are going on to change things, but we can say water. Anyway, I'm sure if that isn't getting enough on your nerves, then I will spare you and start the video and learn fast how to have a British accent. Should be interesting.
Today, I'll take you through some essential top tips to help you sound more British when you speak. So if you want to learn a British accent, then this is the video for you. Some people think that the British RP...
Okay, sorry, this is the perfect example. The way she is speaking right now, it's very graceful, it's calm. I'm sure there's folks in the UK and Great Britain who are not graceful and calm, but it's totally like everything that Americans identify with just a suave accent.
The accent is quite hard to pull off, but actually if you follow a couple of simple rules, then it becomes a lot easier. If you're new here, my name's Izzy. I'm a final year medical student at Cambridge University. This video has been very highly requested in my comments and DMs. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some key...
I find myself already hyper-focusing on the way she's speaking. Like, I noticed her accent, like, has out-talking a lot. Like, instead of lot. I'm starting to just... Turning this video on is getting my brain, activated. The language centers, wow.
Points where you can really make your accent sound a lot more British. I'll go over 5 main points today, which will be word choice, consonants, vowels, intonation, and finally how to practice to perfect your British accent.
There's a lot of actors who are... Americans are always flabbergasted, just shocked when we hear... actors who we think are American that turn out to be British, because they do such fantastic American accents. It's amazing. But this is kind of the reverse of that, I would say, huh?
Whether this is for acting or if you just want to learn how to speak with more of an RP accent, then hopefully this video can help you out.
More of a what?
To learn how to speak with more of an RP accent, then...
RP? More of an Arby's? RP? RP accent? I'm not sure what that means.
Hopefully this video can help you out. I'll particularly focus on the vowels and the consonants, as these are the areas where you can really make the most immediate impact and immediate difference to the way that your accent sounds.
Okay.
Today we'll only be going through tips to speak with a modern or a modified RP accent, which is just my accent. This is how I speak.
Oh, so RP is like a type of accent? Or... Now we're getting into types. I don't know. We we got to keep this at a level I can understand. But I am familiar with the concept that there are different British accents within Britain, just like how there are different American accents. Even I can understand this.
Or a modified RP accent, which is just my accent. This is how I speak. RP stands for Received Pronunciation and is sort of traditionally known as the standard accent for people in the south of England.
The standard accent. South of England. Okay, well, that's what I got.
Standard Southern British English is sort of a bit like the accent that BBC broadcasters speak with, so sometimes it's also known as BBC English or Queen's English. It is predominantly spoken in the south of England, but obviously it's not confined to this geographical area, and there are so many different varieties of British English, even within the south.
Oh man. You know, I honest to God don't think, if I heard different English or British accents back to back, I don't think I could tell you the difference. I don't know, that'd be a good test.
If you're interested in learning an accent that sounds a bit like mine, then keep watching this video.
Okay.
So the first thing that you want to pay attention to when you're trying to sound more British is actually word choice and vocabulary. I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, but it's really important to make sure the words you're choosing are the British version rather than, let's say, the American version.
Oh, okay. Wow, I don't even have to change the sound of my voice for this. It's just by making your word choice a little more strategic, you know. If you want to sound American, you just have to say, dude, what's up, bro? And you immediately start sounding more American. So what's the British equivalent? Hello, mate? Cheerio? No, there's those are stereotypical American ideas of what British people say nonstop. That's the entire British language, right? Cheerio.
So just some examples here would be, for example, trash in American English is known as rubbish in the UK. Some other examples include pants versus trousers, which is what we would say in Britain. There are also...
You know, I don't know if people in Britain feel this way, but it seems like every word choice that's different than Americans is just like the nicer version, just like the more proper version. Like, instead of trash, it's rubbish. Instead of pants, it's trousers.
Also certain words or expressions that just sound quintessentially British, such as the adjective knackered to describe when you're really tired. I'm absolutely knackered. Or phrases like, that's a good shout, when speaking to...
But I could immediately, like, defeat this, this idea by saying it in the most American way. I am absolutely knackered. I am knackered. You know, I can still find a way to sound American.
To an American friend of mine, I sometimes use this phrase and he's a bit baffled, like, oh, what does that mean? What does good shout mean? It just means that's a good idea, essentially. So by choosing your words and phrases carefully, you can sound more British in this way. The second thing to really pay attention to is your consonants. So consonants are an area where British English, particularly RP, really distinguishes itself from other forms of English accents. There are two key points that I want to address here. Firstly is the T sounds. Make sure that you enunciate all of your T's. This T sound should be clearly enunciated at the beginning, in the middle, and also between words. So...
Oh, geez. I'm pretty sure in American accent, we really do not pronounce T's. So maybe that makes absolute sense why the accents are so different. Like if I wanted to say that's pretty, I wouldn't even pronounce the T's. Like, that's pretty. I'd almost make it a D sound. Pretty. Huh. This is really making me introspective and very self-conscious of... Okay, pronounce the T's.
Examples of this would be the word to or teacher. You want to really make sure that that T sound is there, but it's not a very hard T that you spit out. It's like a sort of light T. So it's not like teacher, it's just teacher. And you can clearly...
Teacher. I'm more confused by the ending of it. Instead of teacher. Does that sound right?
You hear that T sound. A
teacher.
Huge difference between American and British sounding English is the T in the middle of words, such as words like water. So the word water in RP, the T in the middle is clearly a T. Apologies in advance for my...
Yeah. I think we actually changed our T's into D's in R's. Like I'd say water. Water. Softer. Water. I'd like a glass of water.
My American accent, I'm can't really do an American accent, but I'll try to just give you an example. In American English, they might say it more like a D, like water. Other examples of this include the word
she accidentally did like a Boston accent. She accidentally did like an interesting American accent.
better versus better, or city versus city. So make sure that those are really coming out clearly.
City. Yes, yes. Okay. This makes sense.
Next is T's between words. So for example, the phrase let it be. The T isn't a D sound. Again, it's this making sure that it's clearly a T sound and not a D sound. So I feel like sometimes in American English people say let it be, almost like a D, but this is let it be.
Oh my gosh, I never realized how much I do this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just such a habit at this point. It's ingrained. Let it be. Let it be. It's not working.
Or another example, it is what it is. So I'm just going to put a phrase on screen now, and I'd like you to read it out in a...
I'm accidentally getting like a Nordic accent or something, like a Scandinavian accent.
British accent, including all the T's.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It is... Gotta pronounce the T's. Oh, where'd it go?
And I'm in English,
back.
Sure that it's clearly a T sound.
Oh.
In...
There we go. It is what it is. I don't know. I just feel like I'm raising the pitch of my voice to try to compensate. It is what it is. Just sounds like I'm more gentle. Like I'm feeling very gentle. The British accent really calms me down. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. That'll have to suffice for now. I feel like I need more tips.
So that would be pronounced, it is what it is. One thing you may be wondering about is something known as the glottal stop. So in some variations of...
Sounds painful.
Maybe wondering about is something known as the glottal stop. So in some variations of British English, the glottal stop is used in place of a T. So for example, the word water with a glottal T would sound like water. So it's where the T isn't just fully removed. It's like, for example...
This is like... She nailed it. That's the accent that Americans default to when trying to imitate a British accent. Is the glottal... They put a lot of glottals in there. A lot of glottal stops. Water. Instead of water. Water. Water.
And you're about to put the T in, but then you there's a tension in your throat that just cuts off the sound.
It's easier for me to do the glottal stop, to be honest, because it's so over the top. I can at least exaggerate in that way. Hello, I'd like some water.
I would say that this isn't really part of RP English, so if that's the accent you're aiming for, then glottal stops are not something that you need to worry about. But I thought I'd just address them as they are a very widespread part of other forms of British English.
No, yeah, that was actually super relevant. That, identified the accent that I was thinking of when Americans think of British accents.
A very commonly cited example of this is, I want a bottle of water, which with...
I feel like this is part of an internet meme or something. The bottle of water, that's the go-to phrase for an English accent, British accent.
Full stop T's instead of normal T's would sound like...
A bottle of water?
A bottle of water.
I knew I'd heard that before. That's the one I always see on the internet when impersonating a British accent.
I can't do it. The second point in consonants is the R sound. So often the R sound is actually dropped in British English. While the T's are always pronounced, the R's are sometimes dropped. This is known as a non-rhotic. Essentially in RP, you only pronounce the R sound when there is a vowel sound after the R.
Geez. See, this is the level where it starts to be if you're not a trained actor or something, how am I going to remember or have the reflex to give the R sound after a vowel, or what was it?
Sometimes dropped. This is known as the R sound. So often the R sound is actually dropped in British English.
The R is dropped after a vowel?
While the T's are always pronounced, the R's are sometimes dropped. This is known as a non-rhotic. Essentially, in RP, you only pronounce the R sound when there is a vowel sound after the R. In examples such as the word British, you do pronounce the R sound because there's an I sound right after it, a vowel sound. But in other examples, such as the word teacher, has an R on the end of it, but there's no vowel sound after the R. So we don't actually enunciate the R
Teacher. Teacher.
sound itself. So for example, in American English, sometimes you'll hear something more like teacher.
What?
Jeez. That was like... I don't know what kind of American accent where this is from. Teacher.
So for example, in American English, sometimes you'll hear something more like teacher.
What?
Obviously, my American accent's terrible, so please forgive me for that. So some examples of where this R is
Makes me feel better. I'm right there with you.
dropped off and replaced with the diphthong vowel, essentially a kind of longer version of the vowel, are words like doctor, teacher, water, better, learn.
This is going much better than I anticipated. I can't apply these rules very quickly. And plus, I feel like I immediately run into words where I have no idea what to do and just make it up.
Work, party, cart.
Is this going to work? Or can I go to my party? Party.
Bird,
Cart. Party. How'd she say party?
teacher, water, better, learn, work, party,
Party? Party? Oh, party. Party. Not party. Okay.
cart, bird. So dropping off the R sounds where there's no vowel sound after the R is really important to developing that RP sounding accent.
I think a big tip for myself here, just summarizing that, is just when in doubt, try to make the words sound less harsh. When in doubt, try to make the word sound less harsh. There's no way that sounds right. There's no way.
Next, coming to vowel sounds. Vowel sounds are so important to nailing a British accent, or any accent for that matter. So I'll be going over a couple of sounds that are quintessentially British that you can incorporate into your own speaking. There are a set number of key vowels, including diphthongs, that are important to learn, and there's a table of them. I'll include one over here that you can...
Oh, man. Just gotta memorize this whole table. No, this is Australian, Canadian, other... Okay, this is a bunch of accents. Okay.
use for reference. There are so many more thorough accent learning resources online if you're interested in that. So, the first vowel sound that is super important to British English is the schwa sound. This is the most common vowel in British RP English. So,
Schwa? Schwa? Where does schwa go?
so it's super important to nail this as it's absolutely everywhere.
Okay.
And examples that include it include similar words that we've used before, actually. Things like teacher, that at the end. Water, doctor, luck, that in luck. Even the word the itself has that
What? This is so nuanced that I'm almost not even hearing what she's referring to.
that at the end.
The
Water, doctor, luck.
Okay, water. Does water and water, ta.
That in luck. Even the word the itself has that sound. And to make this vowel sound, you essentially want to have a fairly relaxed mouth with your tongue just resting.
Oh, there's my problem. What? I'm tense. I gotta relax. Relax. It's important.
In your mouth. And you just want to go, The next
This is good content. This is good stuff.
vowel is the short O sound. This sound is very British and is included in words such as hot, stop, slot.
Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. Because I would not have even had any clue how to say hot slot. Hot. How do you say an O? British people, how do you say that O? That's impossible.
The next vowel is the short O sound. This sound is very British and is included in words such as hot.
Hot. Oh my goodness, this is the toughest one. Maybe I'm doing it, but I can't tell. Hot. And it's so hard to make an O sound on purpose. Hot.
Stop.
Stop.
Slot.
Slot.
Got.
Got. I got my slot.
All of these sorts of words with this oh sound. In, for example, American English, the word stop might be more pronounced as stop rather than stop. So this is a very might be more pronounced as stop.
I don't know how she's managing to do it, but she's almost inventing a new American accent. It's like somehow she's incorporating some of the British pronunciation of vowels and consonants in such a way that is just baffling me. Yeah, stop. Okay.
Rather than
stop.
Stop. So this is a very
Stop.
round shape with the mouth, with the lips slightly pushing out and the tongue just slightly relaxed and flattened in the mouth. The next vowel is the long A sound. This is like an R sound, which is present in words such as grass, bath, father.
This is like classic British to me. Grass. Father, please come in here, father.
Rather, fast, last.
I'd rather you last. Father. Further, my father.
To make the sound, open your mouth quite wide, like almost like you're going to the dentist. Flatten your tongue and slide it back a little bit and make this ah sound. Ah, that kind of sound. And just practice.
Yeah, these are, I mean, I'm trolling a little bit, but these are actually good tips. Getting used to getting your mouth into these different positions and opening more or rounding it out more. I'm not doing a very good job of it, but I do believe her that that's actually extremely important to nail down, to actually be able to hit these sounds. It's almost like singing. Like there's a technique here that I'm not good at.
Last, past, bath.
Last, path, bath.
Grass. And this is
I want to go past the last grass on the hill, father.
in contrast to an almost hard A, where in some areas of Britain, in British English, instead of having this long A sound, which is present in RP English, there's almost like an ah sound instead. So instead of bath, it will be bath. The next vowel is a...
Well, that just sounds more American, to be honest. So there are secret parts of Britain I could escape to have like a crappy American accent, and people might mistake it for a British accent. Probably not.
almost like an ah sound instead. So instead of bath, it will be bath.
Bath. It still has a hint of British in it.
The next vowel is a big round O sound. So this is present in words such as hello, no, slow, low, go.
This is, again, with the O's, this is so difficult. To put this at the end of the word as well. I don't even know how to...
In words such as hello,
Hello. Hello.
no,
No. Hello.
slow,
Slow, father. Go slower, father, or you'll get hurt.
low, go, halo, zero. And this is actually a diphthong where there's actually almost two sounds within the vowel, and the vowel changes over time. That's what a diphthong is, essentially. It's sometimes known as a gliding vowel. So the sound goes from O, O. It's like your mouth closes down as you go through the vowel O.
Oh. Hello. Wait, what was a word? I need an example. Go. Yeah, I mean, that does help, I think. I don't know if it's translating in practice to sounding correct, but I can see where that could help, getting that movement down.
What a diphthong is, essentially, it's sometimes known as a gliding vowel. So the sound goes from O, O. It's like your mouth closes down as you go through the vowel O.
Yeah.
To make this sound, your tongue starts off nice and relaxed with your mouth slightly open in a round shape.
Oh my gosh, my tongue is not relaxed. There's all these little things. I can't relax my tongue. Come on.
And then as you progress through the vowel, you kind of imagine it kind of closing down. Oh, that kind of thing. And I think this one's quite important to nail because it's
I just start whispering. Hello. Hello. Come here, Tommy. I want to show you my British accent.
in the word hello. And I feel like
I think this this British lesson is just driving me insane. That's all that's happening.
sometimes people try to mimic the British English accent, the RP accent, with the word hello. And the really key thing that distinguishes whether they've nailed it or not is this O sound at the end.
Yeah, I can hear it now. You know, I never really picked up on the nuances like I am right now, but I can absolutely hear it now. Even when she says hello, it's much easier in an American accent. You just, you know, barbarically are like, hello, hello. You know, you just punch it through. You brute force. But the British accent is like more nuanced. You got to think a little. I like it though. I like it. But it's a skill. Hello, hello, hello there.
So some people almost overemphasize and they go, hello, but that's almost closing it down too far.
That's like directly calling me out.
It needs to be a very gradual O, quite relaxed O. And it's also not a single sound. It's not oh. Some people say hello or hello, hello. It's not that, it's hello.
Yeah.
Finally, the fourth thing to pay attention to is the rhythm and intonation. This is so important that it's really hard to teach in a few quick tips. It's something that you need to really absorb over time. And this includes all the stresses and emphases on the word and essentially the musicality of the language. And this really contributes to making you sound more British and also making you sound more understandable as well.
Yeah, this is almost hard to describe. But apparently she's gonna try to.
So how can you practice all of this?
Oh, no, that was it. Yeah, so I totally agree. It's like almost the musicality of it. Like the phrasing, the speed, the tone, the everything goes into an accent. It's just not strictly pronunciation, although that is a big part of it.
British, and also recommend listening to plenty of podcasts or radio shows, and also watching TV shows, movies, or YouTube videos with people speaking in this accent. And what you can do is a technique called mirroring, which is essentially where you play or listen to them say a phrase, and then you pause whatever it is, and
then you pause whatever it is.
you say it back.
And you say it back.
You repeat this process a few times to try to imitate their accent as closely as possible. And one thing that can help, and lots of students that I've had have found helpful, is if you focus specifically on a few vowels or a few consonants at a time. So for example, if you start with a sentence and you specifically focus on making sure you nail all the T's, or making sure that you nail all the O sounds.
Yeah. That's much more how I would go about it if this was like live or die. If I was going to live or die based on this, God forbid, because I would die. I would break it down almost like scientifically like that, where it's like a regiment. Like, okay, I'm going to nail all the T's. Then I'm going to get those pesky British O's next in the whole sentence.
And then you can kind of build up from there so it doesn't feel too overwhelming or paralyzing because it's a lot to try to change an accent, and it does take...
It's a lot to try to change an accent.
Take a lot of work.
There's some words that just come up, like accent. How would I attack accent? Accent. Because it has a bunch of C's in it, not just an E as a vowel, no O's. Pronounce the T's. Accent. No.
This technique called mirroring is actually something I used extensively when I was trying to learn Mandarin. I'll link a video over here somewhere about my experience of learning Mandarin and how I did that. But otherwise, I hope this video has been helpful or interesting in some way, and I really hope it helps you to get closer to your goal of maybe sounding more British.
This video was very helpful. and very well done. I think it's just me. I am not a good student. I feel as though I have failed. Izzy Sealy? Izzy Sealy? Very nice video. Very cool. That was exactly what I was hoping it to be. Trying desperately to learn a British accent quickly. I mean, the only true test at this point is to close out the entire video trying to do a British accent, and I might toss in a little bit of that exaggerated accent. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed watching, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested, I feel like I'm talking a different language. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm having to think here. If you are interested in more videos like this one, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.